What's up, you filthy casuals? Welcome to Casual Shenanigans Gaming, a podcast all about everything PC gaming related. I am one of your hosts, Germ Gaming, and I am joined by Joel.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And Dave.
Hey folks, I am Dave, the not so evil Viking 13.
What's up, you filthy casual? This is the podcast. You're going to hear a loop in just a second because I forgot to mute Twitch. But that's a loop for like a quarter of a second, and then everything is fine.
It's your doppelganger.
Dave, go ahead and tweet out the "We're Live" thing because I totally forgot to write one of those. So tweet. I'm just handing that over to you. So first bit of business to deal with is Patreon. We haven't had a podcast for 2 weeks. We came on, we had a podcast, we asked you guys for money, and then we just bounced out for a couple of weeks so Dave could go visit the home of Paula Deen, which is an American treasure. Wait, no, the home of Dolly Parton. Is it?
Home of Paula Deen.
Actually, we did pass a venue that had a sign up from the week before where apparently Paula Deen had spoken like live in front of an audience for some reason. Like this giant venue. Like, all right.
Who wants to pay to go hear Paula Deen speak?
I just want us to hear not being photoshopped is what I want to see. Like, I would pay to go see that.
Better bacon balls, and I don't like black people.
Dude, her photoshopping on like the grocery store aisle of magazines is legitimately terrifying.
The best photoshopping though was, I think, was it Debbie that sent us that? It was Paula Deen riding things. Oh my gosh. It's just like a Photoshop of her like on a rocket, like on some football guy's shoulder, like, yay, yay. And I'm like, what the heck is this?
It shouldn't be as funny as it was, but it was.
All right, Yoshi will probably be joining us in a second. Apparently, he replied to the email saying, "I'll join the podcast," and I did not check my email before we went on. So he is friends with me on a different Skype account. I have multiple Skype accounts.
Ooh, Mr. Important.
Yeah, darn tootin'. So,
wow, there's a phrase I haven't heard in a while.
Dave, darn tootin'.
Twice. I heard that phrase twice recently.
Patreon went well. That's what we're doing here. Yeah, we had to move the podcast along quickly tonight because 2/3 of the podcast is going to see Godzilla. You losers.
That's right.
I hope it's terrible.
All of us friends.
Desads. So you guys are going to see it, and we gotta get this moving along here. So first, we're gonna give shout outs to people who pledged us on Patreon. Thank you guys very much. We're up to $59, which is pretty crazy.
You were supposed to give me the names of those because I said I was going to yell them out.
It's in the folder. I have it.
It is.
It's in the Casual Shenanigans folder right now.
Oh, no.
Honestly, guys,
there's one called Patreon Patrons.
We definitely underestimated you guys. You guys went nuts. So good work with that. And now Joel's going to shout your names, I guess.
I'm trying to find it right now. I thought it was in there.
It'll be a prize.
Joel, it's in the Casual Shenanigans folder. It says Patreon Patrons.
There we go. I know. I stopped Dropbox because it was downloading stuff. I don't know what it was downloading. So
on PC you can actually see that.
Who are the new people? I guess, or is everybody new? Because I'm like, I know we shouted out a few last time, and I'm trying to remember.
Everyone who's bold is new.
Oh, okay. Oh, man.
I will unbold them after they no longer become new. So if they have a real name, read the real name. If they have a a gamer tag, read that one out instead.
I feel like we need music. It's like someone needs to beatbox this or something. But first one goes to How You're Back In.
Yeah.
And is that an L? Is that a Lane or I? Ian Soper or Lane Soper?
It's Ian, Joel.
I thought it was an L first. Ian Soper.
Is your name Ian or Lane?
Maximilian. Thank you very much, Maximilian. TJ Watts. That's not even a real person. That sounds like Sherlock Holmes and TJ Watts.
That's an awesome name.
X William XX. Why didn't you do 2 X's on the first part? That would have made it even.
He's gonna earn those first.
Oh, I love this. Thank you, Burn a Nation. Burn a Nation. Daniel Bulig.
Just keep going.
Daniel Bollig. That's probably closer to it.
That's probably
Rex Sauce. That sounds like a Street Fighter character.
Rex Sauce.
Rex Sauce. Iceman Garage. Thank you so much for letting us use your garage. Shane Ultra Grunt. You're awesome.
He continues to be
that's all Shane gets. You're awesome.
he continues to be the man, basically.
All right, to everyone watching the stream, I'm sorry you've been watching me bounce around on Twitch so much, loading up other things. But welcome, Yoshi. All of that was to welcome Yoshi to the podcast. Hi, Yoshi.
Howdy.
I have never seen your room in daylight. That's a crazy new look for it.
This is the new room.
Ah,
I moved, remember?
What kind of sound was that, Jeremiah?
It was a scream of joy. Anyway.
Wow. You've been making some weird noises this year. Are you feeling okay?
I'm feeling great. Let me just drink some of this shake.
I think you've had enough protein for today. He's got that protein rage.
I got to get the finger muscles. So anyway,
Chick-fil-A shake after shake.
So thank you guys. Thank you everyone who pledged on Patreon. You guys are awesome. Now, for those of you who pledged $5 or more, I've sent out one casual conversation. More will be coming, but I've been working on adding you guys to the Google group, so I was going to hold off on sending more until I could get more people in. But we have some ready to go. And if you pledge $5 or more, you can be a moderator in Twitch chat. So I'm not going to make you be a moderator if you don't want to, of course. But if you would like to be a moderator, just let me know in Twitch chat right now, and we will mod you. We will crown you a moderator real quick. But thank you guys very, very much. There's still plenty of things we're figuring out. We're still working on perk levels and all kinds of other stuff. But just knowing that we have you guys' support, cool things to note is that now, since we reached our $15 mark, the podcast is paid for. I will not have to move back into a camper to support it.
Your budget is tight.
If you would like to hear his sexy whisper voice, please take all your money back.
Moving back into the wilderness in a camper.
And then also good news is we hit the $50 mark, which means that you guys will be getting podcast show notes, very detailed show notes, or at least as detailed as Joel can make them.
So they might not be detailed this time, but the next time and the next time might get better and better.
Right. So bear with us if they're not amazing the first time out. We're working on that. We're trying it for the first time tonight, but we'll hopefully have some really high quality show notes for you. So that's all of that. Moving on, we have so much news to talk about this week. The news list. The news list is insane. So Joel, I think this is your first news story is you. Nintendo. What's Nintendo doing?
Joel's
Nintendo is already talking about the next console, and honestly, for me, I think that's actually a good thing because, man, they just screwed up with this last one. Not even that the system is so underpowered, but just they're so into gadgets, and I think people are past that, especially with new just iPhones and everything else. People are just kind of beyond that. So, but it was just amazing. I was like, they're already talking about the next console, and that's really, really freaking soon. So. The last bit of news they said was that they're going to make sure the people that have the Wii U are satisfied before they start whipping out the new console.
So they're going to have to release some games for it, maybe.
So pretty much Mario Kart 8, and then I'm excited about the new Zelda, but I think like 2 years more for the Wii U is going to be like the peak of it, or like.
They haven't even released Smash Brothers yet.
I know.
We want to make sure people have gotten everything they wanted. How about the number one game on the platform, guys? It's Mario Kart and Smash Brothers. That's why people buy Wiis.
Well, we shall see.
I wonder if that making sure that the old owners are satisfied involves a coupon for the new system. You get 10% off. Give us more money.
Yeah. So I mean. I think the system is fine graphically. It does suck because every single news out there right now, especially with the new systems out, saying it's all coming on the PS3, Xbox 3. It's like, but not the Wii U. Like the old gen are still getting the game, like the Wii U's, and I'm like, dude, because Nintendo, you gotta change. I honestly think they need to fire Iwata. Like I think he needs to be.
That seems to be the common perception this week. Is he's run his course.
Yeah, I think he
fire
means well, but I think he's a little bit too arrogant and proud to think that. They can just hold the course. So
coming off the success of the Wii, you couldn't he could be forgiven for thinking that because they won pretty big with the Wii.
Oh yeah, they rocked that.
So
thing.
He probably at least the first year or so of the Wii U, he'd be saying, "Guys, don't worry, I got this. This is going to be good. Like this is going to work. Trust me, trust me, trust me." I think it's now people are saying, "Hey, buddy, what's going on?" But I think it's a case of there's no software to sell the hardware. If there was a Smash Brothers game, people would buy it. If there was a new Metroid Prime, if there's been a new Mario game, Donkey Kong game, one Zelda, and Mario Kart's almost out, right? In 2 years?
Yeah, Mario Kart actually just came out, I believe. So, well,
Okay,
I saw that
we got
review on iTunes,
Mass Effect 3, not 1 or 2. We got Mass Effect 3 and Arkham Asylum or Arkham City. I mean, it's been
they got the newest. They got the newest one.
Arkham City.
Origins.
So it's just this terrible. Like that's. I mean, if there were games, people would buy the system. It's that easy. People buy systems because they want to play the games on them, not just because they want to own the system.
I know.
Anyway. All right, bye, Headshot. He's going to sleep. Can't wait to listen to the podcast later. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. Oh,
and hey, he sends hugs and kisses.
He does. And
let's not forget the most important part.
I was gonna say, if you want to shout out but don't want to give us any money, if you leave us an iTunes review, and if I remember to go look at iTunes and I see the reviews, you will get a free shout out. So just take that and put it in the bank. Okay, so next bit of news. Microsoft, in a surprise announcement, is going to start selling the Xbox One without the Kinect, starting in June for $400. So if you were developing some games for the Kinect, how mad would you be right now?
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that.
Given that no one is now going to buy your game. How many Xbox Ones have they sold, Joel? Our resident console expert.
Console.
Probably around 5 million. Maybe 6.
Do you know, Joel?
No, you're gonna have to say it again because I was too busy trying to put the details in. Sorry.
Oh, I can see you complaining about this later.
No, it was something about the Kinect. No, it was fine. I was just trying to get the stream up too. So, but it was something about the Kinect.
Yeah.
Xbox One sale. Yeah. Yeah. Say the question again.
How many Xbox Ones do you think they've sold?
Oh gosh, I think.
I mean, not you. Do you know? I guess.
No, I don't. I
think.
think I thought it was somewhere around 3 million or something.
I thought it was better than that. I thought it was like 5 or 6.
It's struggling, I've heard.
5, 6.
Okay. Well, let's say it's 5 million. Let's just, for the sake of argument, and I'm sure we could look this up on Google fairly easily, but let's say it's 5 million. So that's 5 million Kinects. But unless there's a really awesome attach rate, that means any game coming out from now on is going to have to be awesome and use Kinect to be able to make Kinect viable. Like, most people are probably just not going to buy the version that has the Kinect.
Yeah. It's actually 5 million.
It's 5 million? Okay. And Microsoft now, they've got to be selling this thing at a loss. There's no way that camera costs $100 to make, is there?
No way. I mean, the PS4 camera that it came with, it didn't come with, was $60. So overall, the PS4 plus the camera was less than an Xbox One. Mm-hmm. And right now it's outperforming, at least from third-party games. They're really struggling to get the game up to par, at least similar to what the PS4 is doing right now. So, I think it's a big push for them right now, especially now that they're allowing you don't have to have Xbox Live to do streaming or like Netflix, anything like that. So I think that's great too. Although the only thing is that if you're going to be playing games, you're going to have it anyways. But for someone like James, he doesn't really play multiplayer games whatsoever, or very rarely, so he would actually save money. But
so our two console people here, Yoshi and Joel. Does the price drop make you more likely to buy an Xbox One, or are you still waiting?
I'm definitely going to get one, but I'm only going to get one when Halo 5 comes out. Like right now, there's no games at all I'm interested in playing. Like the Dead Rising 3, I don't really care. It's got Titanfall, I already have it on PC, so I don't need to have that. There's nobody else I know that has it to play with it. But I know people at work, they're going to get the Xbox One when Halo 5 comes out. So I'll be loving to be able to play with those guys. So
I bet you Microsoft's going to bank really heavily on Halo.
Oh yeah,
they'll have to.
They're gonna really need it.
Third console in a row.
Gears of
Please,
War
Halo,
4,
please.
Gears of War 4 comes out. You guys didn't get to experience those games. Those games were awesome.
Yeah, I did.
You played Gears of War?
I've had all the consoles, Joel. I keep talking.
Okay, so did you play through Gears of War?
I didn't play 3. I played 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
And they were good.
They were a lot of fun. Did you ever play co-op, or did you just play by yourself?
Just play by myself.
Co-op is where it's at. It's a lot of fun. But anyways,
How
I think
about you,
got Gears of War. So
I wouldn't say it's actually a price drop. When I think it being a price drop, I would say maybe $350, not $399.
So you don't think this is good enough?
No. Just them dropping part of the console to make it cheaper, I don't really think counts much of a price drop. Because it's still, even if it came out at $399 or without the Kinect, it would still be $399. So technically, it's just a peripheral drop rather than a price drop.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I think they're just struggling because they really dropped the ball and going, hey, people really care about watching cable TV on it. And I'm like,
TV.
Sports. Call of Duty. Dogs.
I'd wait till at least $300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they banked. Well, they pulled a PlayStation 3. When the PlayStation 3 came out, Sony was like, all right, we have the most popular console pretty much of all time, and now you can play Blu-rays, and it's the most powerful, and it's got this amazing processor. It's $500 to $600. And everyone was like, yeah, screw it. Xbox looks good. And Sony was like, wait, but you love us. And they're like, no, not that much. And so this time, Sony was like, came out swinging, and Microsoft was like, they love the Xbox 360. What could go wrong? Let's turn it into a cable box.
Man. I think that's what Nintendo's actually going, okay, crap. We need to just go, hey, people just want a gaming box. They just want to turn the sucker on and play a freaking game. Like, the extras are cool, but it's like it needs to first play games. So
that exist. That are out and released.
Because that's the only thing that consoles have that is a seller that they're supposed to do better than what others things can do, because a PC can do everything, but what a console does best really well is just supposed to be just gaming. It's just like pop on, playing game. You know what I mean?
It used to be. That's why the PlayStation 2 was such an amazing console. That's all it did. It played DVDs and it played games, and it was cheap. And there were a billion games for it. That was like, that's the secret.
And it's like people just still think, oh, people want Twitter. I remember when they added Facebook to Xbox 360, it was like, no, I don't know anyone who's ever used it on an Xbox 360.
Wait, Facebook?
Yeah, there's a Facebook app on it. I'm like, why?
I have an Xbox 360 and I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there's
Joel,
Twitter,
do you type it with a gamepad?
Yeah. You know, I mean, like,
wait, yeah. That's a question. Can you connect keyboards? Because that's the worst part of the console experience.
You can get this little keypad thing, kind of like an iPhone keypad or whatever. You can attach to the controller. Anyways, but it's just like, who's gonna do that? Like, it's because you couldn't even use Facebook while you're playing a game, so you'd have to get out of the game into Facebook.
But who's sitting at their TV like, I think I want to browse some Facebook.
It's just dumb. It's so dumb.
Look, my family posted baby pictures. Whoosh. Enhance.
Did you also know Microsoft changed it? I don't know if you brought it up. I can't quite remember, but they changed it for their live subscription to where you can actually use Netflix and stuff without having gold.
Wait, you had to have gold to use Netflix before?
Yeah, you had to use gold to be able to do anything with any app on Xbox 360 and Xbox One, but they finally realized, oh, PlayStation 4, they're doing it without that.
Yeah, no one else charges money to use the Netflix app. That's except like Netflix. Netflix charges money for the Netflix app.
Yeah,
that's about it.
It's behind a paywall pretty much, so they would have to pay the $60 a year or however many dollars they want to pay a month, and then they'd still have to pay Netflix to be able to use it. It was very stupid, and yeah.
I've never had Xbox Live, and I don't think we will now.
Well, it's fixed now, so you don't have to have it unless you want to play online.
But I don't have to. That's the thing is anything I can do on the Xbox 360 online, I can easily do somewhere else for free. And in case you were wondering, an Xbox 360 on an 100-inch screen playing 720p games is like Aliasing, the movie. My wife is playing Lego Lord of the Rings right now, and man, that game looks like garbage.
Jaggies everywhere.
They're so jaggy. All right, next news item. Very PC-friendly game Titanfall has added in a patch. I guess the patch kind of coincided with the DLC, which just released, didn't it?
Today, actually.
Yeah, I haven't gotten it yet. Has anyone else played it yet?
No.
Okay. You planning on getting it? The Expedition DLC for Titanfall.
I'm going to wait.
Oh, God, I didn't even realize it. I thought they just announced the DLC.
No, it's out.
Week.
It's out.
Yeah, 3 maps, not really worth it, I don't think.
I haven't played fully all the maps yet on the first one just yet. So, because
I was expecting, maybe
my other friend just got it on he's with the new graphics card. Dave helped out, so he's finally can play again. So I'm like, yeah, I'm excited to play.
Oh, John is going to be joining us for Titanfall. Cool.
Yeah, he's got his computer running and everything. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm going to overclock it for them on Saturday.
Woot woot. What processor?
The one that we spec'd out for him. I don't remember.
3570K?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, it's good for 4.5. If you want, I can send you my voltage and multiplier settings.
Oh, but you're not supposed to do that. You can't just pick values. Yeah, send it, please.
I copied those exact values for Joel's 3770K. How long did your overclock take, Joel? A minute and a half?
Yeah,
like I
pretty
said
much.
it, we benchmarked it. I was like, yep, that's good. And it's been running stable, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been fine.
Oh, Ivy Bridge. So, next news item. Oh, yeah, no, Titanfall. Patch. They have a new extreme frame rate option for PC players, up to 144 FPS if you have an 144 hertz monitor.
I do.
Wait, you do?
Yes, I do.
Oh, wow.
I thought I told you. Yeah, I have the
Have you played-
Asus VQ or VG
All right,
something.
I've never played above 60 hertz. Does 120 and 144, does it look significantly
Yes.
different?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
I
you've seen
was
how
actually
edited
playing
temperature.
Battlefield 4 yesterday. I was sniping and stuff, and I just put everything on low, and I was running like about 150, 160. And then I did Portal 2. Tremendous difference when I did Portal 2. Like, it feels like you're right
Nice.
there. Yeah. So, yes, if you guys want to get a 144 hertz monitor, I think Asus is like the only one that's doing it, and they have a 24-inch and a 27-inch, and I have the 24-inch.
Are they TNs or IPS?
It is not IPS, so I'll go ahead with TN.
Yeah,
And
I've
it's
seen
got
it-
a 1 millisecond response time. Here, actually, I'll show the box.
Oh, he's been looting recently, actually.
No.
I'm just waiting for him to be like, Grandma, bring me the box.
It's this. If that helps.
Nice.
So 1080p, I'm assuming?
Yeah, 1080p, 1 millisecond response time. It's NVIDIA 3D ready. You still have to pay $150 to add the 3D part to it.
So by ready, they don't
yeah.
actually mean 3D ready.
It means the slot's ready for the parts that you buy.
I mean, that's like saying my computer is Titan Black ready. All you gotta do is buy a card and put it in. It's
I
ready
don't
to
care
go.
about the 3D though. I enjoyed the 3D on my PS3 for a while, and that was pretty much it.
I've actually seen, like you were saying, Jeremiah, Edgar's setup. For a while there, he had triple SLI, or yeah, two SLI and then triple screen surround with 120 hertz screens. Like, it takes about an hour to really get used to how the mouse like translates to that amount of frame rate, but once it sinks in, it really is a huge difference. But I think between 120 and 144 is where you start seeing it. Like, more people have a hard time seeing that difference. And I don't see much more over 144 being useful.
Well, and then I'm curious to see what happens with G-Sync and FreeSync stuff. Like,
Yeah.
because supposedly that makes it feel much closer to that. So I'd be more interested in that happening because honestly, there aren't that many games where I would feel like I need this to be 120 hertz or 144 hertz. I'd rather be a little bit prettier and run at 60. I mean, because 60 is awesome. So but I could see that for like Counter-Strike or for Insurgency, Team Fortress 2, stuff like that. Like, I could see that being pretty useful. I don't know
I
about
think
Battlefield
120 would be amazing for virtual reality, I think.
4. So I'm
Ooh,
just
yeah.
looking forward to what 4K, Oh yeah, for virtual reality, I can see that being
Just
useful.
be having it completely like so you just have you can't tell at all. It just looks
Yeah,
like
that
real.
makes sense.
I think it was going to be the best.
Total responsiveness, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we got to go quicker through these news items. Sorry. Okay, next item. Dave, you can talk about this one. DayZ was hacked.
It was.
What happened?
What's confirmed is that about a week ago, on one of those cheat forums, basically, where people not only make and share game hacks, but they also do some hacking just for fun, kind of like black hat stuff, just to test the boundaries of things. Where some guy posted this screenshot of what appeared to be a debugger for DayZ's source code. And originally, it just showed like version like 0.22, which was like the middle of last year, a very old version. And someone's like, "Oh, like you must have pulled like an old version off their FTP or something, or do you have access to like their source like depository for all the builds of the game?" And he said, "Oh no, I did like an SQL injection and got into their FTP server." And then he showed a folder structure that showed every current version of the game, including internal patches as of like the day before he was posting these screenshots. All Bohemia has said, though, that there was an attack. There was a server that was compromised. One of their support servers has been taken offline, like one of their like support ticket servers. Mm-hmm. And they've said that there was an attack, that no user information has been lost. They're investigating. There's actually a criminal investigation going on right now, kind of like Valve did back in the day. They won't say anything else besides the fact that the hack is not affecting any current projects or timelines. That's all they're saying. Which, that could be just a corporate, default plug, or it could be that he just got a bunch of compiled code off of the build, but he may actually have the source code. No one really knows for sure because all those posts, of course, have been wiped out and shut down, and all the files are being pulled. But they were downloaded about 150 times, the ones that he was posting of what he had downloaded. So, Joel, I wanted to ask you about this because you were following Half-Life 2 closely when Valve got hacked, and it really wrecked Valve's timeline for the Half-Life 2 release, right?
Yeah, I did.
So what do you think this is going to mean for DayZ, having the possibility of the source code being lost like this? Obviously, DayZ has no story, but
it's not going to damage them at all. Just because the mod's already, like the mod's out, the standload's out right now. I mean, you're currently playing it. So like, if they go, oh hey, a crossbow got leaked, like, or something they were going to do new, it's like, whatever, a crossbow was planned.
Right.
And it's like for Valve, it was more of a, like for them, it was a complete secret, and it was stolen, and they leaked a lot of the missions, or a good bit of the missions. I actually saw someone on my dorm. He actually had it. He was playing. I was like, "What the heck are you playing?" And he told me about it. I was like, "What in the world?" So there were some rifles that didn't make it into the game. There's a whole like blue gooey kind of alien thing that never made it into it. For them, it was a big rigmarole because it pushed it back another 8-9 months. But that's because it is a story-driven game, and from there they were really pushing the boundaries of what games have been doing. So that really hurt them. So I think they had to like give it time for Half-Life 2 to kind of re-enter the market as a in better news, because people were going in and taking models and making nude stuff out of it, like just crazy crap, because people are idiots.
Thanks, internet.
So, but I think DayZ will be okay. So, but I think DayZ will be fine. It's not going to delay him or anything, other than just being a hassle.
The real concern that I've heard from people, and this is what is actually concerning me about this possibility of the source code being leaked, is they're still working progressively on sealing up holes from the Arma 2 system of how the game functioned at a core engine level. So you can't script hacks like you could in the mod anymore. They've plugged most of those holes. But Dean has refused to talk about which security holes they have fixed in DayZ Standalone, because he said on Reddit that he doesn't want to talk about it so that people don't go and try to figure out what's left from Arma 2 that they can exploit, basically. They want to take their time, go through gradually, pull the rest of the old pieces of the engine out, and fix the holes one by one. But with the possibility of the source code being leaked, they can rip it apart and say, oh, look at all these pieces of Arma 2 that are left. Here's all the ways we can exploit the game. So there's a risk now of a month or two of just really, really bad hacking. That's my main concern.
As opposed to the hacking now, which we will get to later. Main topic tease. Next item. Okay, so Steam is becoming a more open self-publishing platform, which is exactly what Valve wants. And user reviews, apparently a lot of people rely on them. I honestly have never looked at a Steam user review, but a lot of people rely on them to help sift through indie games and stuff.
I don't even know where you can find them.
In the store when you're looking at games.
Like down below somewhere?
Yeah, like in the description.
Oh. I didn't know that.
So now they're going to show you if a game was reviewed when it was in early access. That's going to be marked on the review now. So if someone's complaining about, well, the frame rate's terrible, they'll have a little mark that basically tells you, yeah, but the game was like an alpha when they complained about this. So, which is a good thing to mark, because not a lot of people, like, it's really easy to blame games that aren't done yet for having issues, but that's the whole point of this. They're still in development, and you're getting access to them to help the developers finish the game by providing feedback and stuff. You're kind of a tester for the game, although you paid money to get into it. But you're a tester for the game, so they need you to play a broken version of the game so they can make the final version good. So it's not really fair for you to complain about the broken version of the game, as long as you understood you were buying an early access game. And I think they do a good job of marking off when a game is early access. Like, I don't think they're at fault there, but it'll be useful so a bad review isn't making the game look bad like 3 years after it's released. I think that's pretty cool. So that's that one. Okay. Battlefield.
I like this piece of news.
Battlefield 4?
I like this piece
Dave,
of news.
why don't you walk us through the community test environment? What is that?
Are you excited about the part that I was telling you about earlier today, Joel? Is that what you're excited about, or I'm
yeah,
confused,
just because it's funny.
Yeah, so basically, DICE has launched the Battlefield 4 experimental branch. If you have premium, you can kind of opt in if there's a slot open for it.
You get into early access for Battlefield 4. They're out of alpha now.
If we want to be honest here, Jeremiah, they're back in alpha. I get it, technically. So the idea is that they can just go nuts in the community test environment.
They
can
just like fix things.
just keep stabbing while they're down.
The jokes write themselves, Dave.
Okay, very
the jokes
true.
are buttery smooth.
They are fixing a lot of core issues, like the first. You're hurting my battlefields. One of the first things they changed was the tick rate. It went from a measly 10 hertz, which has been the standard for the Battlefield series for the last couple titles, and it is way too low for how much is going on. That's 10 FPS on the server, 10 refreshes per second with all that crap going on. They bumped it to, I believe it's 33 now, so more than a 3 times increase. So yes, you're right. First off, it's like trying to fix the core problems of the game. But also, and this is the that Joel's excited about, is because it's a private, at the moment under NDA area, they can just test things. If it doesn't work, they can just scrap it, kind of like DayZ's development process with some of their stuff. And one of the first things that they wanted to try out that the community was just demanding was a screen shake nerf. So the patch that came out yesterday did a 3 times reduction to the screen shake. It is now less than Battlefield 3 screen shake, and it is a different game. Holy crap. Someone did like a side-by-side comparison that they weren't supposed to post, and it's a huge difference. The game
when you
is
say screen
awful.
shake, what do you mean? What do you mean?
You know, every
by
time a
screen
freaking
shake?
grenade goes off, your camera. I mean, the whole time you're playing Battlefield 4, it's just even in 3 too. It annoyed the crap out of me. It's like it's great for single player. It sucks for multiplayer because it's constant. The whole hour of gameplay is just constant camera shake.
And you know what it is, Joel? What really bothers me about it is, okay, so in real life, if an explosion goes off, there's going to be shake. Okay, sure, it's realistic, it's just not fun. But in a real life like thing where there's an explosion going off and your head's moving, your eyes are tracking smoothly. Like, you know, there's an explosion going off, if we slow it down, your head's rocking around, your eyes are moving, right? But in the game, the movement is so jarring. Like when the motion blur kicks in, the camera just like jumps really hard. And like for me, whatever I'm looking at, I have lost it. And when the shake's over, I have to like look at where I'm looking at now, because the screen shake doesn't like pan with your camera. It's like chunk, 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 chunk.
Yeah.
It's really rough.
Like you and Yoshi were in perfect sync on that.
It's not that even how it was is realistic, because you're going off of realistic of movie camera shake. You know, I mean, none of us has actually been near a grenade when it goes off. Actually, I've actually been kind of close to one. But anyways,
There's Tenorite.
It's more loud than anything shakes. But anyways, like a movie camera shake, the camera is actually trying to follow a subject, and they can't shake. If they shake it too much, people hate it. That's why people hate some of the first 2 Bourne movies. They were just so shaky. And the third one was the second and third are really bad. But either way, they just need to go, you're playing a game for an hour and a half. Cut it down.
So overall in the CTE, I've played about 4 hours now. From what I've seen, it's definite improvements across the board. But I believe they're going to have to do a weapons rebalancing with a higher tick rate now, because some of the weapons with their rate of fire and with how often the server's refreshing now, you can still actually get killed in 1 or 2 frames with certain guns, because the registration is accurate now. Like the hits are actually hitting. So it's a smoother experience. You're getting killed behind cover and stuff like that less. But now the weapons are landing hits more often, so you're dying just as quickly as you were in the retail version. So the core performance
I'm okay
is
with
better.
that as long as it's consistent. I mean, I'm okay with dying quickly. You die quickly in Counter-Strike and Insurgency, but
I think for Battlefield, there's just a little bit too much going on in the larger servers for it to be how it is right now. I was doing a 64-player match last night, and for most of the deaths, it was areas where I wasn't looking. Someone has parachuted in or spawned in an area where I'm not looking. And as soon as I get a hit marker, I get like that thunk, thunk, thunk sound, and I'm dead in just a couple of frames. I can't even turn to see what's shooting me. I think for Battlefield, there needs to be just a little bit longer time to death.
So a little bit less realistic, a little bit more Halo. You know, how you have a little bit of that, like, you know.
It's got to be a balance, yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty much they should just like nerf the guns just a tad bit when they
Yeah,
come
like
out
20,
with it for everybody.
20% maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
all right, next news item. Gigabyte has announced a slimline gaming laptop for the stylish gamer on the go who needs a lot of power and has a decent amount of money. I don't know which demographic this is trying to reach, but Gigabyte has you covered. They have announced the... Why can't PC manufacturers come up with attractive names for things? I don't understand.
Oh, here we go.
The P34G V2. It's the P34G space V2, like version 2.
Now, I believe that's actually a Korean War attack aircraft, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
It has a 1080p screen, a 14-inch screen. It's a GTX 860M, which is really a GTX 775M, which really is kind of a crappy GPU. You'll get maybe 90 minutes of battery, and, that's about it. It's going to cost $1,400. It's going to be decently thin. It's going to be about as thick as a MacBook Pro. So, not incredibly thin, but for a gaming laptop, pretty good. That's all.
Oh, the names.
No one's impressed.
Yeah, but they're trying to do something, so I thought it was worthwhile news. But yeah. I don't
I'm
really
still
care.
stuck on the name myself.
So next news item, I'm kind of excited about this one. Microsoft is hiring. Let's see, what do they say? They're hiring for a new AAA title within an established and well-loved strategy game franchise. Now, the only two established and well-loved strategy game franchises Microsoft really owns are Halo Wars and then Age of Empires.
Ooh, dude.
Was Halo Wars
Age of
that
Empires.
well loved? It was
No,
all
but
right.
But it was a really good game. Like, it was really good. But it was
talking
we're
about,
talking
like,
like
the
Halo
Xbox,
Wars, Age of Empires.
Yeah.
Like,
But it was
Age of-
also only console only, so.
Age of Empires was my childhood, pretty much. Like, that's the only game we had for a couple years. Was Age of Empires.
I only had the trial off to the Windows 98 second edition. Yes, that's all I had, like 3 maps. I would generate my own maps. I'd usually put one villager and then put tons of lions around them and then click go.
We would do the same thing.
I love that game.
We'd get a couple, like, Phalanx? Do they pronounce them Phoenix in that game?
Phalanx.
Phalanx. We get a couple Phalanx guys and then surround them with like 1,000 villagers from the other side, and then just let them just stab them all to death. It was great.
I have a funny story about that word because I used to say phalanx when I was a kid. I was like, "Look, Mom, look at my phalanx." I always wondered why she. I was just like, "You need to not play this game, Joel."
All right,
Spartans, form phalanxes.
Ready your phalluses. We're going to war. Or something. Everyone oiled up.
Maybe we stop along the way.
Grease jokes. So, next news item. How's it going with the time codes, Joel?
Good, going good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Far Cry 4 has been announced.
Yes, I'm excited about it.
It's set in the Himalayas. It'll be out this November.
War jungle, yeah.
There are tigers in the Himalayas.
Dude, that's awesome.
You'll be facing off against a despotic, self-appointed king of the region, and they're going to give you more information at E3 next month. So, honestly, it could just be Far Cry 3 in the Himalayas, and people would love it. And it looks like that's probably what it is. So,
probably some minor updates to the engine, which was fantastic the last time around. It doesn't need a
Big
whole
thing
ton.
I'm hoping, co-op. Please.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Or
Not
here's an
like-
idea. Don't use the Uplay matchmaking system, which
Yeah.
is by far the worst matchmaking. It took 1 hour. We were all friends with each other on Uplay, and it took an hour to get into a game together. Like, that's the worst. That really is the worst.
Yeah.
Was that the same night where we gave up and then played an Arma 2 co-op mission after 2 minutes of setup?
Something like that. Yeah. It's a bad night when you're like, well, Arma 2 just worked by
It's like, wait,
comparison.
what?
You want a smooth experience, go to Arma 2.
Oh, on a side note, Bohemia's 15th anniversary is this week, and they released a cool little video on their YouTube channel that shows like the history of what used to be Operation Flashpoint and is now Arma Cold War operations or whatnot. But I laughed so hard because they showed footage from Arma 1, which was in 2004 or 5, I think, released. And in one of the overhead shots from the original Arma, I saw the 2-story barn that's in Trinaris. So that asset is at least 10 years old. I was like, hey, it's the loot barn. It's like an A-10 flying over.
They'll be using the DayZ assets for the next 20 years.
I don't know, dude. After DayZ, Bohemia finally, I think they're finally getting the funding that they honestly deserve. They've been struggling for so long. If you read about their studio history, they got screwed over by Codemasters, by other publishers. They've had a rough, like, 15 years of existence. So I'm hoping that DayZ is like a new chapter for them. So, but I just laughed when I saw that barn. I was like, no wonder the textures are so crappy.
I think you were crying as you were watching that anniversary video too. Like, I'm almost one of them.
I poured myself a drink. I just got some tissues and just had an emotional connection with the trailer, Joel style.
All right, next bit of news: The Division is delayed to 2015.
Joel, please don't kill yourself. We love you.
I know. I was really
I'm excited. I'm excited by that.
I was really excited that it was going to come out just because I can't wait to freaking play it. But I am glad because I think Watch Dogs has actually earned my interest again. I really want to play it. I watched a couple multiplayer videos. It looks really freaking fun.
I'm looking forward to playing Ultra Gun's copy.
The game looks a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I'm not talking world, but just things to do. So I'm really excited about that. And if I mean it's Ubisoft too, so it's like I'm glad that they're both just giving each of those games the time to make it.
Ubisoft
pre-ordered.
Ubisoft is kind of turning into like the good EA.
Yeah.
But EA was pretty good like 15 years ago. So give it time.
It all went downhill as soon as they closed down Westwood Studios and Command and Conquer started dying. That was the downfall. It's the downfall.
Well, it was around that time period. Whether or not that was the downfall, it was that time period. But
it's just when they were expanding is the main thing.
Yoshi, do you have it pre-ordered on PS4 or PC?
PC.
Okay.
Definitely.
Good man.
I didn't know if you bought like the Watch Dogs PS4 bundle.
No, it's I got it on G2A for like $33. It's not like that anymore, of course, but I think it's a Uplay key only, but I'm hoping I can put it on Steam so it'll work on Steam and then put it on Uplay, but we'll see.
Yeah, how do you feel about it being delayed?
Oh, good.
Yoshi, how do you feel about it being delayed?
What, the Division?
Oh, sorry, not Watch Dogs, The Division. Yeah, The Division.
I think it's probably a good idea because the PC group wasn't going to see it in 2014 in the first place because they didn't even originally make it for PC. They didn't decide to until after a huge petition went out for people wanting it on PC. Then they made an announcement. So they even said that it was going to come out after it launches. So this is probably going to make it all at the same time.
I would say that I almost say it has nothing to do with making a PC version of it. I think even developers are really smart to release PC games a little bit later. I mean, especially like GTA 5. It's because you have such a massive install base. You install that, and if they come out with GTA 5 on the new, the next gen systems and PC, as soon as they do that, no one will buy them for the 360s and PS3. Like, it will dramatically drop off. So for them, it's like, it's not just double dipping, but it's like, yeah, you have a good market. You spent 5 freaking years making the game and a lot of money. Make money back. And I think it's a good way to just get a whole bunch of people that, it's because not everyone's going to buy the new system just to get GTA 5. A lot of people will, but not everyone will. So I think for The Division, I think it's more of seeing, okay, wow, DayZ's out. You have this other game that's coming out. A lot of other games that are in that kind of same genre that I think just survival in general. And I think they're going, oh, wow, people really like this game. Let's add some more features that people are going to like for this. I think it has to do with a lot more adding features and fleshing it out.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I was just meaning that it'll help the PC version come out most likely at the same time as the console.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're correct.
A year later.
Either way, I'm excited for The Division.
Yeah, whatever comes out, I'm excited. I mean, there's so many good games to play that they can take as long as they need. I'll be happily waiting.
Now with Watch Dogs, I'm trying to decide between getting it on PC and my PS4, just because I really love the PS4.
Get it on PC so we can play together.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I've been thinking that, but I know Dave will probably not get it anytime right when it comes out, probably.
You know me well, Joel.
Will you get it? Will you get it, Jeremiah? Will you get it?
I already have it. Ultra Grunt gave me his key.
Never mind. I forgot.
Now, I will share my Uplay account with anyone who wants to play it. Any of you guys who wants to play it.
I would play with
Watch Dogs.
Jeremiah just offers his account to the internet.
Anyone can have it. Buy a game
it's
with
just one of those
money.
frustrating things where I think for the single player, I'd rather be sitting downstairs on my couch and playing it than up here. But I do want to play with
Steam
friends
and home
and stuff,
streaming.
So.
Joel.
I know. No, honestly, I'm gonna get a Steam streaming little dongle whenever
Use a
they
laptop.
come out.
Just plug your MacBook Air in and stream through that.
No.
What's the difference? It's just to send the signal to the TV. It doesn't matter.
No, I mean, like, I don't know where to set my laptop up, having to have it all plugged in and everything.
You've got like 1 million electronic devices plugged
I
in.
know, that's why I
that's
don't
an
have room.
excuse. That's a crappy excuse, Joel. You put it on the shelf under the TV. How about that?
I don't have Windows. I think it can only do it through.
No, I'm pretty sure streaming works
So it
on
can stream
Mac,
from
OS
PC
X.
to Mac.
I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah.
So to have Steam, I don't know.
What it's doing is just it's capturing the screen and then streaming that. It doesn't matter what
But
OS
that
it's
means
capturing.
okay. So I got to bring my Xbox controller all the way down. I got to bring it downstairs when I play every time. So I go upstairs, turn my computer on.
Well, I don't
I'll
know,
get Steam.
Joel. This is a made-up scenario where you're just trying to be difficult. So.
I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just saying it's actually kind of a frustrating scenario to do.
Or Joel,
Alright.
maybe you could just use your brand new office space and brand new computer that you've built and just enjoy them. Like
yeah,
a
I know,
normal
but
person.
I want to use the new controller and the whole touch swipey pad. I like it. It's awesome.
Joel, your obsession with controllers genuinely concerns me. Genuinely concerned, buddy.
Because it's comfortable. And it makes me feel loved.
I was waiting for the emotional part.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Next bit of news.
this
Okay,
one's so dumb.
yeah, Joel. Is this yours?
Yeah, this one's mine.
All right, what is
Flappy
this?
Bird to return with multiplayer. This guy is a freaking genius. I really have to say, and I've read a lot of articles about the guy. I've listened to a lot of interviews just because it's a fascinating story. It's some guy who he made a whole bunch of little games. Flappy Bird happened to be one of them. It took off so crazily big after a couple articles saying how bad of a game it is and how hard it is, kind of like a Dark Souls of iPhone games, right? That it ruined his simple life. And it was. He was like, I honestly couldn't imagine if I made an app like that. Like, we have, my wife and I, we've been working on an app with some friends of ours, and it's going to go out in the next couple weeks. But like, we don't expect it to do very well, just decently. That'd be awesome. But I'm like, what if it just went so insane that we have news people coming to our door like constantly, every second? That's what he said he had. And so I think it's like crazy. That'd be kind of horrible. I'd be like, I want to have my regular life, but still have lots of money, but I wouldn't want to be just like bombarded. But anyways, he took it off, but now he's bringing it back, but he has some plans for doing multiplayer. And so I'm actually a little excited because that was a really good idea because he took it down, not perfect, like a perfectly timed if he wanted to, that goes, oh, it's kind of getting boring, but it's just on that hype train where people were so excited about it. Then all these clones came up, and now it's coming back out again after being like 6 months gone. I'm like, this guy's a genius, even though I don't think he's trying to just game the system, but he's a genius for bringing it back with this multiplayer. So he's going to make so much freaking money.
Good for
That's
him.
all I got.
It's an awesome story for that guy. I love to see stories like that.
All right. The next bit of news is Earth 2066. Dave, how much do you know about the Earth 2066 story?
I'm gonna post a video in the Twitch chat. This is, I think, the only the second game after the crap storm that was the War Z to be pulled from Steam, and this one I don't think it's coming back. And Joel, this story is almost for you because when this early access craze that DayZ started, like, really has been going nuts recently, you said that one of your fears, right, was that something would just go up on Steam that has like a couple of days work put into it, that's never going to be finished. It's literally just a cash grab, right? That you said that was like one of your fears. Well, it happened. If I could describe what this guy made, it's a single guy, of course, a single developer. He essentially I would not be surprised. He essentially loaded up the UDK editor or whatever. I'm not sure which engine this is, honestly. He spent what is maybe a couple of days on this, created a default terrain, threw down some props, stole some artwork for the menu and the screenshots and the Steam page, and then sold it for $20. And of course, because people on Steam don't read anything, a bunch of people bought it for $20. And if you watch the video, like, it's literally like a floating grid of terrain in a skybox in space. And that's all the game is. And it was crashing for people. It just...
Wait, so people That's, oh man.
He posted it on early access, and thousands of people bought it. And when people started posting videos about, like, guys, this is like the Unreal Editor, like, default terrain dropped in with some textures and a couple of props placed, like, this is not even a tech demo. It's like someone's.
This isn't a game.
Yeah, this is like someone's like level design experiment with a menu. Well, he started wiping his Steam forums because how the Steam forum system works is when you release a game on Steam, you're given admin rights to the forum for that game because you're the developer, right? And most developers don't abuse that. But on the couple of days where this exploded and everyone's like, this game is a total scam, it's like a piece of floating unfinished terrain, he just started wiping the forum like completely empty and just locked everything down.
Burn the drives, burn everything.
So yeah, it finally happened, and just look at the video and marvel at its
pretty pathetic.
horribleness.
Nice cash grab.
Yeah, does he get to keep the money?
Steam was offering refunds, so I'm not sure if that comes out of Steam's pocket or his
Because
pocket.
think about it, I mean, he didn't lie, did he?
I think
this is the tricky part of capitalism. He offered up a product, people bought it. Unless he blatantly lied, I don't know if there's anything they can do about it. Even if it's a terrible product, that's just better advertising than the consumer was reading.
I mean, did he state that it is a work in progress?
it was an early access game, but I think the difference was
Which
that
doesn't mean much.
his bullet point list, I believe, even here in early access, showed a bunch of stuff that was not even anywhere to be seen. So that's, I believe, what caused it to be removed from Steam. Not just how crappy the quality was and the fact that it's probably never going to get finished, but the fact that he was saying that there were things in the game
now.
right
They
now
pulled
that
it. He can't fulfill his vision.
Okay,
they sabotage his project.
Dave, here's my next prediction. This is how Nintendo rises again from the grave. All PC games, video games in general, are going to just go earlier and earlier access, where it's just going to be like, so I had an idea, but I don't want to tell you unless you give me money. I'll tell you about the premise. It's going to go to like, they're not even going to tell you what the game is, and you have to like pre-alpha, pre-idea.
And they just ship you a book of concept art.
Nintendo's going to come back from the grave because they're actually going to have finished games. You don't have to download updates and crap. That's going to be the gem and the diamond in the rough. These games actually finished when you first play them.
That would be pretty amazing. I'll stay off that soapbox tonight.
Okay.
Okay, do we have any more news before we move on?
I was actually going to just finish up with one last thing for this guy. He got so desperate by the end, he was creating multiple false Steam accounts and leaving ratings for his own game. And
He must be a Reddit user.
that's actually what happened right before the forum wipe was he was creating like multiple personalities of these people who were like really defensive about the game, and guys, you're just being so hard on him, this is obviously a masterpiece. But like the way that he was talking in third person about his own game through these like puppet accounts was just hilarious. Like, guys, you're really hurting his vision right now. And it's like, wow, this guy really is full of himself. Just a hilarious story, except for the people who bought it.
We're totally not going to do that for my Norman film. Like, this film is amazing. Well thought out from start to finish.
Frenchie Libre in chat does bring up a good point. He paid to see the Star Wars prequels. He doesn't see much of a difference. All right, I think that's the last bit of news for this week. All right, it is now mail time.
Mail time. Okay.
What is that?
I don't know.
Haldgeir, he says his name is Norwegian, which is probably why I did not pronounce it correctly, I'm sure. He sent us some rambling on the state of hacking and cheating in DayZ. Now, to be a part of the show, you can write into... What can you write into, Dave?
casualshenanigans@gmail.com.
Or you can tweet...
At our retarded casual shenaniga email address because Twitter hates us.
Or we should have done the math beforehand, but I really didn't know there was that much of a character limit. But it doesn't matter now. Okay,
2 years later.
So,
Still bitter.
speaking of which, we're only 2 episodes out from the big 50th episode, which we probably should do something special for. So you guys let us know what you want us to do, and maybe we will, and maybe we won't. And anyway, we haven't come up with any ideas. Give us some.
The Spin the Bottle podcast.
No.
I actually have some ideas I've written down, and it might involve a script. We'll see. I'll share it with you guys later.
You get to be a movie director on your own time, Joel.
This is our time.
Okay, so.
No, but they wanted good content. That's what I was saying.
Shots
So Hal
fired.
Gear writes in and says, me and my clan have been playing DayZ Standalone on and off since the release of the alpha. All of us played the mod at least 700 to 800 hours, so I guess we are above average fans of the game. I guess. Since the lack of content of Standalone, we are at the moment casually playing it. Playing just a few nights now and then, which is what we're doing now too. We pick it up, play it until we get bored, etc. But in the past weeks, there have been more and more cheating among players that are destroying the game for us. One thing is running across the map to get killed by a glitcher at the Northwest Airfield, someone glitching through walls. But now cheating's becoming a big problem. It ruins the game. Why bother spending 30 minutes running across the map when you and your friends most likely get killed in a fight against players that have an unfair advantage? Some examples. The last 2 nights we encountered at Berezino 1 or 2 teleporters. One guy killed 4 of us, and we were spread out tactically. We had control of all movement in the northern part of town by the harbor, and this player headshotted us all during the night, one by one. After spawning in again, he killed a guy running around with an M4, a double 60 mag, and only 1 slot with bullets in his inventory. The slot didn't tell him how many bullets it contained, just a bug saying a lot of numbers, and a teammate told him this is a hack, and yes it was, it gives him you infinite bullets. Next spawn, he and his friend run up to the northeast airfield where they come across 3 players. They get contact, but their movement reaction to us is rather strange, and after a few minutes we're killed by one of them, which is moving at the speed of light. So they say as soon as we enter players... As soon as we encounter players who cheat, they find another server, but lately the cheating has escalated really bad. We meet hackers and scripters on every server we play. Are these players, quote-unquote, about to ruin an unfinished game, and are the devs not aware of what's going on? The mod was for longer periods unplayable because of the cheating. I would hate to see this happen to the standalone too. Are we just being extremely unlucky, or is it really as bad as it looks?
Before we get started on this topic, can I actually break down the changes in the server system and how the cheating works in standalone? Because I've actually done some research on this on
Very
Reddit.
briefly.
But question though, does that matter?
Yeah, it does, because the hacking that you see in standalone is not the hacking that was in the mod. Some people have accused the DayZ team of not sticking to their promise of cutting down and reducing the hacking in standalone. In Arma 2, the DayZ mod, scripting could do anything. You could create a mission like, remember the Thunderdome, where it spawns everybody into this giant death dome at the Northwest Airfield and you all just duke it out? No scripting like that can be run in standalone. You can't create a script that creates like this custom mission or anything crazy like that. All of the hacking that's going on in standalone right now, because of the game's new server client architecture, which is very different from Arma 2's architecture, all of the hacking is client side, and it's also limited to that network bubble, which is about, was it like 1,000 meters, I think, in diameter, something like that. I've actually seen screenshots of some of the hacks, and there's a lot that they can do inside of that bubble, but there are no more server wiping hacks, there are no more Thunderdome hacks, there's no more scripting, but you still have the same problem that other games have, like Battlefield, every other series, where any information that the client gets can be accessed by hacks. That includes wall hacking and stuff like that, like where they can see loot. They can't script looting, they can't spawn anything, but they can see basically through walls and stuff like that. And that's a problem that all games have. And how you fight that is you have to do these updates with BattleEye, where once a hack comes out, it has to be out in the wild for a week or two while they basically cast the net, gather up all the people who think they're getting away with the hack. Once the net is full, they release an update to BattleEye, and there's a mass ban all at once. And then within a few days, the hack developers who are getting paid to do this have a new version out, and then slowly the user base of that version increases and increases and increases, and it gets bad again. Basically, you're plugging a hole in the dam and waiting for it to grow again. It's just how the system works, and how all games work with hacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not just a DayZ specific issue. Unfortunately, I just don't know why people ruin games that they like. I don't understand it, but this happens to pretty much every multiplayer game, so you can't really blame DayZ necessarily. But as far as, are the devs aware of it? Yes, I'm sure they're aware of it. But the thing is, the game's architecture isn't finished yet. So it doesn't really behoove them to spend a lot of time fighting hacks. Like, they'll fight the worst ones, but they can't really put a ton of time into it because they're trying to build the game. If they're trying to patch holes in unfinished code, I mean, that's just, you'll never finish that way. I mean, they have to just push through. It's one of the issues with it being early access is that these are just issues you have to deal with, because that's not their priority, is not taking care of all the hacking.
And
their priority is to finish the game.
That's what I think is bad about any of these pre-alpha games and stuff, is that because of that. Is because people are not judging it based on the end game. But the thing is, this is the end game, though. You're allowed to play it now, so whether or not you like it, it's a pre-alpha and all that crap. You're playing it now. You could be bored by the time it ever comes out to be completely finished. It'd be like if I showed you guys my movie early, which I have, and that's what you have to judge it on. And if it's so bad and you don't like it, you might not even have care to even watch it when it's actually done. Sure.
And that's just how life is. It's because these games are sent out early. People are allowed to play them for 500 hours because they want to play the game that they're hoping it's going to be. And because it's not there yet, not for another 8 months, you have a lot to complain about because it doesn't do everything they say it's going to do.
And I think that's why people are hacking. Go ahead, Dave.
I was going to say, unlike most games too, you have a lot more to lose in DayZ. When the game is the balance of the game is dependent on the rarity of loot and how the loot is balanced and how you have to work for it. And so to have someone who can see all the loot and find the best stuff immediately and then see where all the players are, that's a huge unfair advantage that you don't see in most games, where in Battlefield 4, if I get killed by a hacker, even if I stay on the same server, I just respawn. There's all my stuff back.
Yeah, it's definitely not as... Yeah, it'd be cool to see if DayZ did something like how GTA 5 is doing, that if you are kind of a troublemaker for a long, long period of time, you actually get put onto the bad boys servers, and you basically are playing with a whole bunch of other hacking, kind of corrupted people.
Actually, Joel,
cool, you know?
It's even better than that for DayZ, actually. It's even better than that. BattleEye is global for all of Bohemia's games. So even though it's early access and people think like, oh, the game's not finished, I'll just maybe pay like $15 a month and I'll get a few hacks just to have fun with it in alpha. If they get banned by BattleEye in the alpha, every Bohemia game that uses Steam, so Arma 3, Arma 2, all of them, they're banned from all of them on their entire account. So when the game's finished, they're already going to be banned. They have to buy a new copy on a new account to try it again. So like, it's not even that they're being segregated; they're being banned globally across all Bohemia games as soon as they're caught. So there is a penalty for sure. When you're caught, it just takes a while for it to happen.
I mean, I agree that hacking's an issue, but I don't think they're going to focus on it now. I think they've got bigger things that they need to be doing just for the game.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the hacking is what's going to be DayZ's downfall. That's our topic tonight, is what will be DayZ's downfall.
Because I honestly haven't seen any hacks in the game as I play.
I haven't seen that many. I mean, there is some hacking, I know, but honestly, what I think is going to happen to DayZ, this is a theoretical situation. Like, if something takes down DayZ, it'll be for two reasons. One, its whole timeline has been slower than everything they've told us along the way. Things always get pushed back and delayed. And that's okay, that they're running into development issues or whatever, they want to make stuff better. But they are now starting to run into the issue. We're starting to see tons of other people making DayZ-like games. And the problem is, DayZ has now been out for 2 years. There are studios who have been looking at this super popular idea for 2 years. And you had the initial cash grabs, like the War Z, where people were just like, we need to hop on this and try to clean as much money as possible, as quickly as possible. But then you've got people like Sony Online Entertainment, who didn't announce anything till like a month ago, and they've been apparently working on a game the whole time. Whether H1Z1 will be this or not, I think that someone's going to come out with a game that's better than DayZ, and they're going to get it out before DayZ releases, and that would kill DayZ. Because DayZ is a really awesome idea, but it is clunky. It has a clunky control scheme, it has clunky menus, it has lots of usability issues that other game engines don't have. And while it is good in marketing terms, you do want to be first to market. Being first to market is better than being best to market. DayZ isn't technically first to market, yes. They're first to market for like a month or two worth of playing, but for a long-term, several years game, they're not there yet. And if someone else beats them there, they're going to have trouble. And I think that's the issue where Bohemia should have scaled the team.
They'll be playing a lot of catch-up.
Yeah, Bohemia should have scaled the team up immediately. I know, hindsight's 2020. I'm not faulting them for the decisions they made, and they're doing a lot of awesome work to bring this game out. So I'm not faulting them, but like, if you could go back in time, they should have like quadrupled the size of that team in the first month.
I've got numbers for you, Jeremiah. Dean just said last week on Reddit that the size of the DayZ team in last May, because at that time they were still working on the core engine rebuild, the server client architecture, the new inventory system, all that core stuff. There were only 3 programmers working on DayZ last year, and that was their entire team. They had some artists who were like freelancing, doing some artwork for it, but the actual full-time team was 3 people. This week, it's 70 people now between 2 studios, but last year it was 3.
And, someone like Sony might have had 150 people working on this for 2 years now. And H1Z1, they might even be playing their cards pretty close to the chest on it. I mean, it could blow DayZ away, honestly.
If you guys watched that really long stream they had, there was over 60 people, and that was half their office.
Yeah. And those guys, to be honest,
But
I was impressed more with not the live streams of the game, but the live stream of the team. They're smart, they're good artists, they're good programmers, and they were excited. They were truly excited about the concept, and a bunch of them were actually big DayZ fans too. I got more pumped for H1Z1 watching the developer stream than anything else, because I feel like this is the first team since Dean Hall and his guys to actually have a grasp on the concept and to actually have the passion to pull it off.
Mm-hmm. And would you agree that that could take DayZ down? If H1Z1 released and was good and it worked and it had most of the features DayZ has been talking about, I mean, I'm not saying I would jump ship. I'd play both.
Yeah,
but
me too, actually. I think, personally, I think it would take a big chunk of the pie. A lot of the more recent purchases of DayZ would probably move on to H1Z1. But I think a lot of the original audience was drawn to how the engine felt past the clunkiness, the grittiness of the ballistic system, the permadeath, and the map itself, the environment, I think is one of the big draws to DayZ. Chernarus feels like a very, very real place.
Now once they start adding giant malls, you can go inside. That might draw people.
Dude, the Czech Republic is covered in malls.
If H1Z1
Not in the
releases
area
like
the map
100-man
is, though.
zombie hordes, does H1Z1 have hordes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Looks
Do
good.
they have hordes?
you
vehicles,
didn't
and it's
hear
buttery
there,
smooth?
there was one area they were talking about. They said they had 150 zombies, like in one area.
All I need is for someone to mod Left 4 Dead 2 to be a huge open
I know.
world.
That's what I'm hoping. Left
That's
4 Dead-
it.
I think
Really,
Left 4
I mean,
Dead
that's
3 is that's
the
what's gonna
best
be.
gun controls. That's the best gun controls. Like the smoothest, silkiest gun controls. Awesome zombie, like AI animations, body destruction, everything. Like open world Left 4 Dead 2 is really all I want.
I'm
I mean,
gonna
if you could
actually-
take the hardcore survival stuff from DayZ and mix it in with the controls of Left 4 Dead 2. I'll give you whatever money you want.
Shotgun.
I'm going to disagree, actually, on that. I don't
Okay.
think the hit scan ballistics of Left 4 Dead's weapons would work well on an open world scenario. I think they worked great for Left 4 Dead 2, but even H1Z1 is going to use a ballistic system, not hit scan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that translates well once you scale things up at all.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah, I agree 100%. And all that gibbing and just the lighting, yes.
Something I told Dave, it was months and months ago now, is that I said, DayZ has one big chance to actually become what it's supposed to be, and it's time. Whether or not the game could come out next fall and have all these amazing features and finally be out, but it's way too long for it to come out. Like you're always gonna have the fanboys who are excited for it and not gonna see anything else because they're just douches. They're gonna play it next fall no matter what. And I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna keep playing it for a long period of time. I'm waiting for things to actually work well and have a lot more features in there to do, but I'm gonna still play it. But it's gonna lose so much steam just because there's none of the features out, because the mod has way more than what the standalone has, because they don't have a lot of stuff to show for it. So, yeah, unless magically in the next like 3 to 4 months they whip out something that's just massive, a huge update that has lots and lots of stuff, not just a crossbow and another can of beans. I'm sorry, that
Can of
excites
tactical bacon, Joel. And bacon, not beans. And I alluded it.
Yeah. I know, Dave, but
I agree with you.
Even you, Dave. If the standalone stopped after just adding fishing and tents, I think you would end playing it after another 6 months.
And actually, confession
Just that,
time
because
here,
I mean that's still not enough. It's still not enough to keep you excited.
I personally had not even launched DayZ since April 25th. The videos we've been putting up on our channels are actually us finishing off some series that we were doing and stuff like that. The Wanderer series is not over yet, but I didn't want to keep pushing the content that's there because it is very lightweight right now. And I think it was our last 3 videos were all in the Northeast around Berezino, and it was the same, not the same adventures and stuff, but it was getting too similar. And I don't want to burn out here 4 months, almost 5 months now into the game, right before things get better. I don't want to burn out. So I am trying to be patient, and a lot of the people who are like clamoring this week, like, give us a dev blog, give us an update, talk to us. I'm like, guys, their team is exploding. They're training new people. I'm still very hopeful for the future, but right now, just step back from it. Even me, I am a huge DayZ fanboy. I love the game.
No.
But
Episode 48.
still
Huge DayZ fanboys.
still strong. But even I.
Hey, but I got you off of that battlefield. Dector. So,
But yeah, even I have stepped back just because guys, you got to be patient and just hope for the best. And Dean was also saying that with that new team size, that right now they're training people like crazy. So like you said, Joel, if over the summer those 70 team members can just go ham and just crank stuff out, it could change the face of what they've been doing. But right now it is very slow and it's very quiet.
It's because H1Z1, if it comes out, and I believe when it does, they have such a massive team, and they already have the core game there, like the core engine. It's all running. They don't have to go, oh, I got to build an engine or all that crap. Mm-hmm. They could just start putting stuff in and go, oh, let's add this. Let's add this. DayZ's still working one step ahead with a little can, and then they're like, oh, we got to fix 1,000 features in the night, and they don't have nighttime working. You still have nighttime that is crap in that game. It's still bad. And and no one plays it, and they still need to work that time zone where it lasts for 4 or 5 hours, so you can actually experience.
Or flashlights work.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Would be nice.
Flashlights work, campfires, all that stuff. It's So if they come out, I think H1Z1 every single week there's going to be tons of new stuff, because they are an MMO company. Where DayZ is not. They're used to coming out with updates every single week.
So also free to play, and isn't the early access coming out in a week or so? Because when they announced it, they said it was coming out in 4 weeks.
Yeah,
it should be within next week.
It should be between this week and next week. So
man, Tropico 5 and H1Z1.
I think though, I know they're definitely getting the game ready for E3, because that's less than that's 25 days away. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, that has been the main topic. We are now going to do 90 seconds with Joel and Dave. Ready, your comment of the week.
I'm all set, actually.
All right, we are now going into 90 seconds with Joel, a part of the podcast where Joel talks about really whatever he wants for as long as he wants, but we keep the name around for nostalgia. Joel, go.
For better times.
This week I don't really have that much, honestly. I actually had a game time I was going to do with Dave, but I'm going to save it just because we talked about so much this week. But a game I'm enjoying, this is a dumb little story, but Crysis 3. I think it looked like a really crappy game when it came out, and a friend of mine got it at work just finally, because I hated the second one. The second one was awful.
I wasn't impressed.
But this one,
compared to the first one, it was.
Yeah. It was just, the storyline was terrible. Animations are terrible. There's so many terrible things in that game. But this one, I'm really liking. I'm really enjoying it. So, I'm I don't know, a couple hours in. It's been enjoyable, and so that was kind of a surprise. So, I kind of got talked.
Beta was fun.
Much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we enjoyed multiplayer on the beta. Have you played multiplayer, Yoshi, or just single player?
Yeah, multiplayer is pretty good.
Is it still good?
Nah, I got pissed off by a bunch of crossbow guys camping all over the place when I played last time, so I haven't played it since. But other than that, it was pretty fun. I enjoyed playing hunter mode and some team deathmatch or something like that.
The one last thing I was going to say on that is even just talking about next-gen systems and next-gen games, I think what we're going to see in next-gen games is not necessarily just higher textures and crap. Because, Crysis 3 has high textures. It's an okay-looking game. It's not amazing. It's one of those things where they just add so much detail everywhere. It's just insanity.
What are you playing it on, Joel?
What?
What are you playing it on?
I'm playing at 1440p. I'm playing it on Ultra right now.
So it is on your PC, though?
Yeah, it's on PC.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of those games where it looks okay. It's not an amazing... there's... the characters' faces look decent, just the one guy's. The rest of them, they look all really terrible. But I think what I'm excited about new next-gen games, I think the first next-gen game that I've actually played is Infamous Second Son. And it's not just the super high-res textures. It's the amount of what the kind of game can do. And I think even with Watch Dogs, just the traffic and all the people... just all the background, engine stuff, not necessarily graphics, is going to be the stuff that I'm really excited about in new games, like Dragon Age Inquisition, the open world, but then able to add the detail into the open world now with the engine and other things that you just might not see in a Skyrim type of game. So, yeah, that's all I had today.
Okay. All right, now it is time for Dave's Comment of the Week, where Dave digs deep into the crap bucket that is the YouTube comment section and pulls out a shiny little nugget for us all to chew on.
Let me just struggle past that mental picture, and we'll go into our comments here. Our first comment of the week is on the following video, DayZ Breaking Bad Episode 1 series premiere of our Bandit series. That is the title. And I like to imagine this comment as just being very, very sad and just...
Wait, this is a comment that was just left, like, recently?
Yeah, I'm still getting hits on that like crazy.
Okay, all right, sorry, continue.
Yeah, so it's on our DayZ Breaking Bad series. And like I said, I'm just imagining this as a super, super sad, disappointed comment. Where's Walter? That was it.
Who's Walter?
Where's Walter?
Oh, Walter White?
Yeah, I guess. Like, apparently the DayZ, like, precursor to the title just makes no sense to people.
All of the in-game footage was from a video game, not a TV show? That wasn't a tip-off?
There are so many people that watch that video who are trying to find the series on YouTube. So many hits. Which is not the intention. Like, I just thought the name was like perfect for us because we were going off the Survivor Diaries.
The term Breaking Bad is a real term. Like, the show didn't invent that. That's an actual term.
But you can't use it apparently. And just a nice comment here on my most recent video where I was playing Stalker Lost Alpha. Actually, I really enjoy when I get these deep critiques that really help me improve my gameplay. Here, this critique was offered for me.
Well, you post your videos on YouTube for anyone to review, so you set your guys self up for that. If you're going to be sitting there going, and now I'm going to grab this can, and I'm going to carefully open it, and I'm going to judge these guys over here, and I'll shoot these guys.
So you have watched the video.
I watched enough of it that I got really bored.
I do a lot of crawling, sneaking around. But yeah, this is just a very deep and well thought out critique of my gameplay there in Stalker. You're really bad at this game. Thanks for coming out, guys. Good comments this week. That's good stuff.
I agree. Just kidding. You're really slow at the game, Dave.
Joel, you have no idea. I'm going fast.
I have a slight idea.
I cut out a total of almost 20 minutes of looting in that video because in the end I would find nothing. I was like, I can't have 20 minutes of looting where there's like no results at the end.
Can you release
You
just
haven't
a
seen
series?
my Dark Souls 2 videos.
Dave, release a series of videos just called Dave Loots, and it's just this the whole time. It's just you getting excited about loot. That's all. It's just like as you grab loot, it's stuffing it into a bag.
I thought about doing a face cam for the series, but I get so paranoid in Stalker at night that most of the video of the face cam would just be like me, like leaning back, like with my eyes just super wide open, like. I was like, I'm not doing a face cam. That's my comments.
All right. For final thoughts this week, I don't know what you guys have to mention. I upgraded my graphics card. I'm pretty happy about that.
Oh, you haven't.
Hey guys, I got a smartphone here. I got a graphics card here.
Hey, for anyone who has like a GTX 770, they're selling for about $300 right now. And if you have a nice one, yes, Dave, we see it. If you have a nice one, they sell for about $340, $350 or so.
So should I sell my 770 and get an 800 series, or should I get a 780 Ti?
800 series aren't out, so that's
I know
not
that,
a thing.
but they'll probably be out soon because you blink and a new PC is out.
Actually, Jeremiah, are those like super delayed? Because usually Nvidia's on March, April release, right?
Yeah, they haven't mentioned them, so we'll see. I mean, the Titan Z was reportedly canceled, and now they say, no, it's not canceled. It's delayed indefinitely because it's slow and too expensive. So, but no, I got a Gigabyte R9 290. Let me just plug this really quickly, guys. You know I'm an AMD fanboy when it comes to some things. This card I got for $350. Retail is like $450. This is probably was a Litecoin miner's card, to be honest, but it's a 3-fan design with a light overclock. It is playing in the same league as a 780 Ti. It's faster than a GTX 780 in pretty much everything, and it's pretty close to a 780 Ti. It's within like 5%, 5-10% in almost everything. So for $350, that is a crazy performance deal.
Oh yeah,
it's performing as well as my 7950 Crossfire setup did in the best of circumstances.
So that means you can play DayZ at 32 frames a second.
Actually, I can play DayZ at 4K.
Everyone can play at 4K. I'm playing at 1440p with my 770 single.
Right, which doesn't mean everyone can play at 4K.
Most
4K
people can,
is well
it's all
over.
bottleneck if you have a decent computer. Like Dave.
No, Joel. Joel, like I realize you're just trolling right now. Please let me explain this to you.
I'm actually not trolling. Like my last computer
4K,
could play it.
Not at 4K. 4K is 4 times 1080p resolution. You're trolling. You're so trolling. Look at your face.
I'm sorry.
No, it's well over double 1440p, and it's 4 times 1080p resolution, and so you can play DayZ at upsampled, or you can play it at higher resolutions at downsamples it to go on your screen. At 4K, the graphics card is at 100% usage, and you're still getting the CPU bottleneck in towns because that'll never go away. But I could actually play it in like the mid 30s with everything on high settings, like the highest settings, no anti-aliasing, 4K. And at 4K, you don't need anti-aliasing. I don't have a 4K monitor yet, but just downsampling it on my 1080p monitor, it looked pretty freaking good. So if you're in the market for a card, I would consider that. And yes, Frenchie Libre has come up with a new term. Joel is joling.
Maximum joling.
That's true.
But anyone else have any final thoughts?
I'd like to make a little announcement. I've been considering for the past few weeks, I might start a YouTube channel myself.
Oh!
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Planning their boundless
I want to
MP.
do I want to do a bunch of Let's Plays, like just a lot of single player stuff, just about anything, not just horror or silly games. I want to do like just about anything. Like I want to go through Watch Dogs, but I think that'll be way too fleshed out to really be a series on YouTube.
I'm gonna do it.
But I'm gonna consider it, and yeah.
Wait, Jeremiah, you're
Let
gonna
me
do
know
that?
what you guys think.
I'm definitely gonna play the game if I think it's worth putting up. If I think I have something to
If
contribute
you're gonna do
about it, I
that,
would.
I'm gonna probably get it on PS4 then. I'm gonna warn.
Is this like a threat?
No. I'm gonna warn you, Yoshi. Once you start doing this, and if you start liking it, I think there are some downsides if you have other people that enjoy playing with you, because it's like
the truth comes out.
It is the truth. It's like, hey, let's go play DayZ. All right, guys, get the setup, recording, the mics. And I'm like, I just want to play the freaking game. And they're like, Joel, you can't say that. Don't say my name on the stream. I'm like, I just want to play with my dang friends. Stop recording.
You are overblowing this by a long shot.
No,
Joel is
it
coming
can
from a
be
place of
annoying,
hurt,
but
Jeremiah.
no, just
It's
think.
just the 2 or 3 times where we've been streaming. I've told you we're streaming, and then you're like saying my last name and like my
No,
address,
there's a lot
and
of
you're
times.
asking
There's a
questions
lot
about
of
my
times I
family
don't
members.
know you're streaming. There's a ton of times I don't know you're streaming. But,
I don't stream that often.
well, now I
tell you
kind
every
of
time.
like just guess that you guys are, or at least recording in some fashion. So, no, but I'm saying, Yoshi, not even besides that. Let's say you're gonna play a really good single player. Okay, Half-Life 3 comes out, right? Do you want your very first playthrough to just be this recording with you have to talk through it and stuff? So I'm just
I talk to myself all the time, actually, so it would make me feel better if I was acting like I was talking to somebody rather than
Okay, so
myself. Anyway.
I'm just tossing that out because it's like I'll jump.
Joel, you're the one who's like, the share button's amazing, guys. I can Twitch stream with one button press. You guys don't know how cool this is. You're just jealous because no one's playing with you. You're like, share, 10-second clip to Facebook of you running around in a circle in Killzone. I saw the clip. Everyone. Well, actually, no.
I
I saw the clip.
I was testing it out. I'm not saying it out to anyone. Who do I care who watches my video clips? The share
I
button
don't know.
I'm excited
You were
about.
excited about the ability to let them watch
No,
it.
the PS4 streaming is what I'm excited about, so that James can watch me play a game in real time. That would be fun.
Oh, so you think it's cool to have people watch you play a game?
No,
but you think
just
it's dumb
like
for us to do it.
No, just my friend James, not everyone else, not on freaking Twitch, just for him, so he can watch me play old NES games. But
Iceman says
I'm
someone
just
gag Joel.
Okay, you know what? One of these weeks, I'm gonna pretend I'm a YouTube streamer, guys, and so you guys are like, "Hey, Joel, what's going on?" Oh, guys, I'm streaming right now, and I'm just gonna start jump right into that mode. So you can just be like, "Hey, Joel, do you want to play a game?" Yeah. Well, I gotta get the whole thing set up, and the webcam's not working, and then you're just gonna be waiting there for 45 minutes just to play a dang game.
We do not put you through that much. We do not put you through that much. You're vastly overblown.
It's been bad at sometimes. It's gotten better, but hey, you guys are super into that. I'm super not, so I'm just trying to give the other side. That's all.
All right. Well, Yoshi, whatever way this turns out, we're looking forward to seeing it. Now, I do have to wrap the podcast down now because 2 of us are going to see Godzilla, and I'm not one of them. So you guys have fun.
Someone says to gag me. There are other people that don't love social networking. Okay, so I'm sorry.
I don't love it either. But anyway. If you want to be a part of the show, write into casualshenanigans@gmail.com, tweet @casualshenaniga. at Evil Viking, at Germ Gaming. Yoshi, what's yours? Do you have a Twitter for your gaming tag or just your personal?
No, I'll end up making one though, and
okay, all right. I won't hand it out then. I'll let you come up with one. Follow us on YouTube, same place as Evil Viking 13 Germ Gaming, and become a Patreon patron if you care to. If you don't, we still like you anyway, and we thank you everyone who supports us and watches the podcast. Send us your ideas for what you want us to see us do for episode 50, and we love you all.
Very much.
See you guys.
Bye.
See you guys.
Stay casual.
Yeah.